first thing I remember is the silence. It's not the kind of silence that brings peace, but the kind that weighs heavy on your chest, suffocating and unrelenting. Our prison is a tomb, a decaying monument to forgotten lives. It floats on an endless ocean, a vast, dark expanse that stretches to the horizon and beyond. The water is black, like ink, and it churns violently, as if the planet itself is alive and angry. The sky above is a sickly grey, choked by a thick layer of metallic shards that orbit the planet like a cage. No ships come here. No ships leave. Not anymore. My name is Erik. I've been here for 20 years. I was sent to this place for killing the men who murdered my family. They called it justice, but there's no justice here, only survival. The prison was abandoned 20 years ago. The operators left without a word, their interest in this place fading like the last light of a dying star. They left us here, the forgotten, the damned, to rot. Over time, we formed our own society, a fragile and brutal hierarchy. We scavenged what we could from the decaying structure, fought over scraps, and tried to make sense of our existence. But even in this desolation, there was a strange kind of freedom. No guards, no rules, just us and the endless ocean. That changed when the Resource Corporation arrived. The Resource Corporation, Res Corp, is a name that carries weight across the galaxy. They're not just a company, they're an empire. Their ships are sleek and menacing. Their logo, a stylized R encircled by stars, emblazoned on every hull. They're known for their ruthlessness, for stripping planets bare and leaving nothing but barren wastelands in their wake. They don't care about the lives they destroy, the ecosystems they obliterate, or the cultures they erase. All they care about is profit. When they arrived, it wasn't with fanfare or warning. It was with a deafening roar that shook the prison to its core. Their ships descended through the metallic shards that orbit the planet, their hulls gleaming like predators in the dim light. They didn't come for us. Not at first. They came for the planet's resources, rare minerals buried deep beneath the ocean floor. The kind of resources that could power entire star systems, the kind that could make them even richer than they already were. But they quickly realized that extracting those resources would require workers, and that's where we came in. The prisoners, the forgotten, the damned. Res Corp didn't bother with new prisoners. Why would they? They already had a ready-made workforce, trapped on this planet with no way out. They didn't care about our crimes, our pasts, our lives. To them, we were nothing more than tools, expendable and replaceable. They took control of the prison, using electromagnetic waves to incapacitate us while they rebuilt the crumbling structure. They installed new machinery, new diving equipment, new guards, and then they put us to work. They force us to dive into the icy depths, searching for the precious resources they crave. The suits they give us are barely functional, patched together with scraps and held together by hope. Every dive is a gamble, a battle against the crushing pressure and the creatures that lurk in the darkness. Those who refuse are thrown into the abyss, their bodies never to be seen again. Those who fail are left to drown, their suits malfunctioning or their oxygen running out. And those who survive are sent back down, day after day, until they too are consumed by the ocean. Res Corp's greed knows no bounds. They don't care about the cost, the lives lost, the suffering endured. All they care about is the bottom line. They've turned our prison into a mining operation, a place of endless toil and despair, and they've turned us into slaves. But I've learned to adapt. I've learned to survive. And I've learned that if I want to escape this hell, I'll have to fight back. The idea came to me in the dead of night, as I lay on the cold, damp floor of my cell. The prison's basement, the Keller, has always been off limits. It's where the worst of the worst are kept, the ones even the guards fear. No one knows what's down there, only that it's sealed tight, a place of nightmares. But I've heard whispers of creatures so powerful they could tear through steel, of beings that could turn the tide against our captors. I need to get to the Keller, but it won't be easy. The basement is a vast, chaotic environment, left to decay after the prison was abandoned. The guards avoid it, and even the most hardened prisoners steer clear. It's a place of darkness and danger, where the walls seem to breathe and the air is thick with the stench of rot. Tonight is the night. The guards are distracted, their attention focused on the punishment of a prisoner. I slip out of my cell, moving silently through the shadows. The prison is a maze of narrow corridors and rusted metal, the walls slick with condensation. I can hear the distant hum of the generators, the occasional shout of a guard. My heart pounds in my chest, but I force myself to stay calm. I can't afford to make a mistake. I reach the first checkpoint, a heavy steel door with a keypad. I've seen the guards enter the code countless times. My fingers tremble as I punch in the numbers. The door clicks open, and I slip through. The next obstacle is a guard stationed at the end of the corridor. He's leaning against the wall, his rifle slung over his shoulder. I crouch low, moving slowly, my breath shallow. I'm almost within reach when he turns, his eyes widening in surprise. I don't give him a chance to react. I lunge forward, driving the screwdriver into his neck. He collapses without a sound, his blood pooling on the floor. I take his rifle and keycard, moving quickly now. The Keller is just ahead, its entrance sealed by a massive rusted door. I swipe the keycard, and the door creaks open, revealing a dark, narrow staircase. The air is thick with the smell of decay, the walls lined with strange, pulsating veins. I descend slowly, my rifle at the ready. The Keller is a labyrinth of darkness and despair. The walls are lined with cells. The air is thick with an oppressive energy, a sense of dread that makes my skin crawl. I can hear movement, low growls, and the sound of something scraping against metal. The creatures here are awake, and they know I'm here. I move cautiously, my eyes scanning the cells. Most are empty, their occupants long since dead. But a few still hold their prisoners, their forms hidden in shadow. I reach the end of the corridor, where a massive cell stands apart from the others. The door is covered in strange symbols, the air around it crackling with energy. This is it. This is where Dimba is kept. I don't know what Dimba is, only that it's powerful. The guards speak of it in hushed tones, their voices filled with fear. They say it can control electromagnetic waves, that it can disable their weapons with a single thought. If I can free it, I can use it to take down the guards and escape. I approach the cell, my hands trembling as I work on the lock. It's unlike anything I've seen before, a complex mechanism that seems to pulse with a life of its own. I use the wrench to pry it open, the metal groaning in protest. The door swings open, and I step inside. The creature before me is unlike anything I've ever seen. It's massive, its body covered in thick black scales. Its eyes glow with a faint blue light, and its mouth is filled with rows of razor-sharp teeth. But what strikes me most is its presence, the sheer power that radiates from it. It's intelligent. I can see that in its eyes. It knows why I'm here. I need your help, I say, my voice barely above a whisper. I can get you out of here, but you have to help me take down the guards. The creature tilts its head, studying me. For a moment, I think it's going to attack, but then it nods, a low growl rumbling in its chest. I step aside, and it moves past me, its movements fluid and silent. With Dimba by my side, we move through the prison like shadows. The creature's power is incredible. It disables the guards' weapons with a wave of its hand, leaving them defenseless. I take them down one by one, my rifle firing silently. The prison is in chaos, alarms blaring as the guards scramble to respond. But as we make our way to the surface, I realize the cost of my actions. In freeing Dimba, I've also unleashed something else. Another creature, far more dangerous, has escaped from the Keller. It's tearing through the prison, its roars echoing through the halls. I can hear the screams of the other prisoners as it attacks. I'm faced with a choice. I can flee, leave the others to their fate, or I can stay. fight the creature, and try to save as many as I can. I look at Dimba, its glowing eyes meeting mine. It nods, as if understanding my thoughts. We turn back, moving toward the sound of the chaos. The creature is massive, its body a twisted mass of flesh and metal. It's tearing through the guards and prisoners alike, its claws slicing through steel like paper. I raise my rifle, but Dimba stops me. It steps forward, its body glowing with energy. The creature turns, its eyes locking onto Dimba. They clash, their powers colliding in a burst of light and sound. The battle is fierce, the two creatures evenly matched, but Dimba is smarter, more controlled. It uses its electromagnetic waves to disable the creature, weakening it with each strike. Finally, with a powerful blast, Dimba destroys the creature, its body collapsing in a heap. The prison is in ruins, the surviving prisoners staring at us in awe. I know we don't have much time. The corporation will send reinforcements, and we need to be gone before they arrive. I lead the prisoners to the surface, where a small transport ship is docked. It's not much, but it's enough to get us off this planet. As we lift off, I look down at the prison, now a smoldering wreck. Dimba stands beside me, its eyes glowing faintly. I don't know what the future holds, but for the first time in years, I feel a glimmer of hope. We're free, and we're not going back. The transport ship is cramped, filled with the survivors of the prison. We're a ragged bunch, our bodies battered and bruised, but our spirits unbroken. Dimba sits in the corner, its massive form taking up most of the space. The other prisoners keep their distance, their eyes filled with a mixture of fear and gratitude. I don't know where we're going, only that we're heading away from the prison planet. The ship's navigation system is damaged, but we've set a course for the nearest habitable system. It's a long shot, but it's our only hope. As I sit in the pilot's seat, I think about everything that's happened, the men I killed, the family I lost, the years I spent in that hellhole. I don't know if I'll ever find peace, but for now, I'm alive, and that's enough. Dimba stirs, its glowing eyes meeting mine. It's a strange feeling, knowing that this creature, this monster, is the reason we're free. I don't know what it is, or where it came from, but I owe it my life. The ship's engines hum softly as we drift through the void, the stars stretching out before us. For the first time in years, I feel a sense of purpose. We're survivors, all of us, and no matter what happens, we'll keep fighting for our freedom, for our future. The prison planet is behind us now, a distant memory, but the scars it left will never fade. They're a part of me, a reminder of what I've endured. And as I look out at the stars, I know that no matter where we go, we'll carry those scars with us. But we're free, and that's all that matters.